Hey everybody. Today, Rahdo runs down the Pandemic 10th Anniversary Edition, which is just awesome that Pandemic has been with us this long. Such a hugely influential game and a really nice package to celebrate its big birthday. This is actually all metal. Feels like an actual field medic pack. You can lock it in and carry it with you everywhere. You can also use these little things to hang it on a wall as a bit of art decoration if you like. But let's talk about what's in the box. Now, nothing changes, or I should say almost nothing changes about the core original Pandemic that came out 10 years ago, but things are definitely upgraded. Let's start with the board, and we'll come back to the rest later. Right off the bat, it's completely new, redone art, and just as a nice little touch, see if I can get it. Yeah, you can see how there's elements on it that are, I don't know what you call it, but the shiny finish, just to make it pop a little bit more on the table. But let's go ahead and open it the rest of the way, and there we go. It is the world. And when I said it's almost the same as it was 10 years ago, we've still got the updated Montreal instead of Toronto for folks who are interested in such things. Originally, it was Toronto in Canada, but at some point they changed it when they did the first total revamp to Montreal. So it's not Montreal. We'll never speak of Toronto in Pandemic again, apparently. So you've got a new board, looks really nice, and kind of a more somber and subdued version. A really pretty great table presence. And again, the the highlighted shiny stuff is a really nice appreciation too. You can't see it now, but I can see it as I move my head around. Then let's talk about the cubes. This was really surprising to me. For this 10th anniversary edition, they went back to wooden cubes. As you know, pretty much ever since the first second edition of the game, plus all the legacy versions of the game, they've gone with these cool translucent cubes. But I believe the thinking is they wanted to pay homage to the original. It started with wooden cubes, so we've got wooden cubes for the four diseases, and a nice little touch, the petri dishes that show what they are. And so you just go on ahead and set them up as you would normally. And let's see, what else have we got? Well, nice little player aid. Pandemic hasn't needed to be changed at all. The core game works great. We've got the original characters. Again, this is all about recreating that experience from having played the first time 10 years ago. We've got our city cards, which, again, actually, I don't know if everybody's going to like them, but it goes, again, to this new art style that feels almost kind of timeless. It feels kind of classic. It doesn't have the more modern, slick, kind of Hollywood, high stakes suspense movie graphics. It just feels like from another time, and it's a very, very nice change. But of course, the actual core rules don't really change at all. And then of course we've got our infection deck as well. Looking good as always. Still the little bit of information. It's completely besides the point, but just there as kind of making the world feel a little bit more alive. Again, in an interest of harkening back to the original, we've got little wooden. We always start out there in Atlanta, the home of the CDC in America, and we've got our other things just waiting to be built. And we've got some more wooden tokens to keep track of the state of the game. Why did I move this box so far away? Here's our infection rate, and where's our outbreak? Okay. Oh, nice little cool biohazard thing, and the viruses, as always, waiting to be put into position, or actually, I guess, kind of up here, and then flipped if they're completely eradicated. Nice looking. And now, for some people, probably the biggest deal. Miniatures for the 8 original characters. And I gotta say, let me take this cover off. They look great. Nice, highly detailed. Now it's interesting, you can buy separately pre-painted versions of these as a separate purchase, but the ones that come in the game, they already look fantastic. So detailed, look really, really nice. And of course, the bases have the color, so they match the color of the original characters when we're going to set out and try to save the world, running all over the place. Having these miniatures really enhances the overall feel of the game. No two ways about it. And hey, I'm set up. I'm ready to play. Of course, I haven't actually laid my deck out appropriately, but that's what you get in this 10th anniversary edition. Really nice. Again, just a kind of a classic feel to it. Now, for some people, that's going to be a problem because if there's one thing to complain about, hey, this is, for all intents and purposes, the 3rd edition of Pandemic, where once again, they have changed the card back. So if you want to play any of the expansions that have come out, in the lab or on the brink or what have you, you're going to have a problem because some cards you've got to put into the decks and they've got different card backs, namely the Infection deck and the City deck. Now, that is a real shame. I kind of wish they wouldn't do that. There's 2 main ways you can solve the problem. One, if you like Pandemic, you're going to play this a lot. So it might not be a bad idea to buy some card sleeves for these. Not regular see-through card sleeves, but actually opaque ones. Because then you just put all the cards in. You can't see when, special expansion cards are coming versus or not. And I have seen actually some very, very cool opaque card sleeves that have like biohazard symbols on them and stuff like that. So you could even, if you look around, find some nice thematic ones. Your other option, of course, is just change your play a little bit. If you're worried about, this card standing out from all the others, it doesn't stand out if you're drawing from the bottom of the deck instead of the top of the deck. That's a little bit more of a hassle to do, but it's a way to save some cash and still play and not have to sleeve all your cards. So that's something you got to bear in mind. While this 10th anniversary edition is lovely, it's just a beautiful presentation. Again, I guess some people might have a problem because this is a very non-standard box. It's not necessarily going to fit on your shelf nice and neat with all your other boxes, but like I said, it's not supposed to. This is a special celebration of Pandemic that is super duper portable. You put it all back in here and you're ready to go and play on the road, in any hot spot around the world. And that, folks, is the Pandemic 10th Anniversary Edition. And thanks for watching this rundown. Before I go, I have to give a huge, huge shout out to Dan King, also known as the Game Boy Geek. When Dan did his video of this, gosh, half a year ago, I was so bummed because I was so jealous because I'm the biggest Pandemic fan in the world. I'm like, Dan, how'd you get it so early? And he said, I got contacts, Rahdo. What can you do? And it turns out I didn't have contacts. And so I figured, I'll get it eventually. But Dan was so awesome, he sent me his copy. Dan, you are the best. Everybody, hit that eye in the top right corner of the screen. Go check out Dan's channel. He does some very cool stuff, particularly like his Allegro series where he'll do a regular full-length review, but then he'll also have 2-minute summary reviews. He does cool stuff where he brings his wife on camera and talks about, her casual gamer response versus his hardcore gamer response. Great, great channel. Highly recommended. And if all that weren't enough, he's just about the sweetest, most kind-hearted person in the world, as evidenced by the fact that he got me my new little favorite game box on my shelf, my Pandemic 10th Anniversary Edition. That's the rundown, folks. Thanks very much for watching. Have a very, very nice day. Talk to you later. So long. Go check out Dan. Go check out Dan. Okay, bye-bye.